Hello and welcome to the Middle School Bookmarker Super Quick Book Preview Show. This episode, we're checking out the book Chains by Laurie Halse Anderson. Let's give it a preview and see if you want to read it. Starting off our passage preview with Chapter 1, Monday, May 27th, 1776. Youth is the seed time of good habits, as well in nations as in individuals. Thomas Paine, Common Sense. The best time to talk to ghosts is just before the sun comes up. That's when they can hear us true, Mama said. That's when ghosts can answer us. The eastern sky was peach-colored, but a handful of lazy stars still blinked in the west. It was almost time. "May I run ahead, sir?" I asked. Pastor Weeks sat at the front of his squeaky wagon with old Ben next to him, the mule's reins loose in his hands. The pine coffin that held Miss Mary Finch, wearing her best dress, with her hair washed and cleaned and combed, bounced in the back when the wagon wheels hit a rut. My sister Ruth sat next to the coffin. Ruth was too big to carry, plus the pastor knew about her peculiar manner of being, so it was the wagon for her and the road for me. Old Ben looked to the east and gave me a little nod. He knew a few things about ghosts too. Pastor Weeks turned around to talk to Mr. Robert Finch, who rode his horse a few lengths behind the wagon. "The child wants to run ahead," Pastor explained to him. "She has kin buried there. Do you give leave for a quick visit?" Mr. Robert's mouth tightened like a rope pulled taut. He had showed up a few weeks earlier to visit Miss Mary Finch, his aunt and his only living relation. He looked around her tidy farm, listened to her ragged wet cough, and moved in. Miss Mary wasn't even cold on her deathbed when he helped himself to the coins in her strongbox. He hurried along her burying too, most improper. He didn't care that the neighbors would want to come around with cakes and platters of cold meat and drink ale to the memory of Miss Mary Finch of Two Rhode Island. He had to get on with things, he said. I stole a look backward. Mr. Robert Finch was filled up with trouble from his dirty boots to the brim of his scraggly hat. "Please, sir," I said. "Go then," he said, "but don't tarry. I have much business today." I ran as fast as I could. That'll be it for the passage preview. Let's take a look at some reviews and stuff. Amazon has this at 4.5 out of 5 stars based on 2,200 plus ratings. And Common Sense Media gives it a 4 out of 5 stars, saying it's appropriate for ages 11 plus. And here comes the back of the book blurb. But first, if you're enjoying this book preview, would you mind hitting like and subscribe? It'll help me reach other kids to help them find books that they might actually want to read. As the Revolutionary War begins, 13-year-old Isabel wages her own fight for freedom. Promised freedom upon the death of their owner, she and her sister Ruth, in a cruel twist of fate, become the property of a malicious New York City couple, the Locktons, who have no sympathy for the American Revolution and even less for Ruth and Isabel. When Isabel meets Curzon, a slave with ties to the Patriots, he encourages her to spy on her owners, who know details of the British plans for invasion. She is reluctant at first, but when the unthinkable happens to Ruth, Isabel realizes her loyalty is available to the bidder who can provide her with freedom. Chains by Laurie Halse Anderson is a historical fiction book focusing on the Revolutionary War. It is 316 pages and the audiobook is 9.5 hours long. All right, let's wrap this baby up. Moment of truth. Is this book for you? Maybe historical fiction isn't your jam. Maybe books about plants are. If so, we have a preview for this book called Seed Folks that's about a community building a garden together, and this other book called Bloom that's about plants attacking people. Please check out some of the other content on the Middle School Bookmarkers YouTube channel, and I hope you find something that you want to read.